y'all fake. Got another face for a bitch, just a ride in that wave till that wave gonna crash. Bitch, I'm a pro with the film, changing the floor up again. Thinking our boxes no more. Square up, I'm throwing a jab.
Welcome to Quincy Bell Sports.
Okay, so this video is going to be pretty long. Sorry if you see notifications throughout like we just started with. So, I'm going to be previewing each ACC basketball team's entire season and seeing where they will maybe finish in the standings and what seed they could be in the tournament, because I figured I'd do the ACC since they're, in my opinion, the best basketball conference. We're going to save Duke and North Carolina till the end because they're the two best teams, so if you want to see them, they're going to be at the end, so feel free to watch the entire video. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to recap what happened to each team last year, and then say our predictions for this year, maybe where they can finish in the standings and stuff. So I think without further ado, you'll get the hang of it as soon as we jump into this. So I think without further ado, we'll get into it. Now, Louisville, in my opinion, should have been in the NCAA tournament last year. I mean, they fell. They barely were out. I feel like they could have been in as a 9 seed. I don't know. In my opinion, they got robbed a little bit. And I'm kind of a Louisville fan since my dad went to Louisville. But, yeah, let's get into their games. I think we're just going to say win or loss. Nicholls State, that's a win. Southern U, that's a win. And Vermont, that's a win. We'll keep going. At Tennessee, I think that's a loss. That's going to be a tough game. Tennessee is a really good team. I rank number 6. And I think they can also get a loss against Michigan State. I don't really know. And Seton Hall still be a tough game. I see Louisville winning that game. I think Seton Hall will give them a good run at home. Central Arkansas, that's a win. Indiana, that's a win. And Lipscomb, that's a win. Kent State, that is a win. Same thing with Robert Morris. Kentucky, I think that's a loss at home. At home, I think Louisville keeps it close, but I don't see Kentucky losing to a team like this. If we keep going, I think Miami is a win. I think Pittsburgh will be a win. I think UNC at Chapel Hill is definitely a loss there. We'll keep going. Boston College is a win. Georgia Tech's a win, and I think NC State could also be a win there. Pittsburgh, again at home, is a win. Wake Forest is a win. At Louisville, NC State, I think that's a loss. NC State's looking pretty good. We'll get to their season in a little bit. I have them doing really well, but UNC is going to be a very good team to beat. With the guys they have, I know they have the number 3 recruit in the nation. I think that's a loss there. Moving on, Virginia Tech on the road, I think, is a loss. I think they'll drop that one. Florida State on the road, I think that's a win. I don't know. I can see Louisville picking up a win there, but I think against Duke, even at home, that's a loss right there. Duke's going to look pretty good this year. Clemson at home, I think, will be a loss. Syracuse on the road will be a loss, and then Virginia at home, I think, will also be a loss. Those are some tough games right there. Those will be 3 tough games for them to battle. The thing about the ACC is everybody plays everybody really well. Boston College will be a win. Notre Dame will also be a win, and then I think Virginia on the road will be a loss. And then, alright, so our next team is Virginia, but let's talk about the end of Louisville for a minute. I have them going 5, 10, 15. I have them going 19-11, which, is that good enough to make the tournament? I don't know. What's going to happen is I think they're going to have to go far in the ACC tournament. If they go far enough in the ACC tournament, I could see them making the tournament as maybe an 8 or 7 seed. But I don't know. They'll be one of those teams on the fence. I do think Louisville has a pretty good resume, but they're not going to be a guarantee to make the tournament. But I think they'll have a good chance that they can win some tough games, maybe at Duke, or I don't know. If they can win some tough games, they'll have a chance. Alright, now let's move on to Virginia. And Virginia's season ended in heartbreak last season, being the number 1 team in the nation by a landslide, then falling to University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and killed brackets everywhere. Very disappointing season for Virginia. Virginia has this thing where they play down to competition, and I mean, I don't think I've ever seen someone play down to competition more than what they did against UMBC, but they're definitely going to be looking to be a team on a mission to rebound this year and make sure that was, Siri, please, make sure that was just a mistake. So, alright, let's get into their games. They have 3 cupcakes here. Townsend, George Washington, and Coppin State. I think that's 3 wins right there, most definitely. I think you can say the same for these next 3 games. Middle Tennessee may hold it close at home, but I don't see them losing any of those. I think you can say the same for these 3. I think those are also 3 easy wins there. Marshall, I think, is a win. Marshall is a pretty good team. They upset West Virginia in the tournament. Florida State at home, I think, will be a win, and I think Boston College can be a win. So far, 12-0 I have them going. At Clemson, I think that's another win. I think they could pick up a win there. Virginia Tech will hold it close, but I think that's another win. And this will be a marquee matchup at Duke. This will be a very good game. I see them getting their first loss here. Duke doesn't really lose at home, but so far I have them going 15-1. These are 3 more wins. I think they can win Wake Forest at home, Notre Dame, and NC State. I think they can take care of business on the road. Miami at home, that's a win. Duke at home. I think, since this one's at home, I'll give Virginia a win there. I think that they should be able to pick up a win at home. But UNC on the road, I think that's a loss. I have them losing to UNC on the road. Chapel Hill is a very tough place to play. So the only losses I have so far at Duke and at North Carolina, which might be the 2 toughest games of the year for them. Notre Dame is a win at Virginia Tech. I'm going with an upset here, and I'm taking a loss for this game. I think that rivalry, Tech will come out to play, so I think Virginia overlooks them a little bit there, and I have Tech winning that game. Louisville is however, a win, though. Notre Dame, I did that page twice, whoops. Georgia Tech's a win, Pittsburgh's a win, and while Syracuse will be a very good game at Syracuse, I think that's also a win. Alright, now we're going to do Virginia Tech next. So far, I have them going 19, 5, 10, 15, 20, 29-3 for Virginia. I think they're going to be right up there with the Dukes and the Carolinas of the world, and I truly think they can get some important wins. I have them being a 2 seed this year. I think a 2 seed is reasonable for them. They're going to look to avenge that horrible performance last year. Okay, so Virginia Tech now. Let's get into this. This one will be kind of fast. Gardner-Webb's a win. Ball State's a win. St. Francis is a win. Penn State, Central Connecticut, and VMI, also 3 more wins there. Those, I think, are also 3 more wins. NC-A&T, Washington, and South Carolina State. So far, 10-0. Those, I think, are 3 more wins. I think Mid-Eastern, Notre Dame, Boston College, I don't see they can do anything. I think Wake Forest and Georgia Tech will be wins, but I think at Virginia is a loss. I think we already went over that game. At UNC will be a loss for me, and I think Syracuse is a good team too. I mean, I think they should be a little bit higher than Virginia Tech, so even at home, I'm taking a loss there. However, I do think Miami will be a win there. Louisville at home's a win. Clemson on the road is a loss for me, and Georgia Tech at home's a win. Pittsburgh, we already said that I think they can beat Virginia at home. That would be a good game, so that's 3 more wins right there for me. I think Duke will probably beat him even though it's at home. Florida State, I think Florida State and Miami, I think will both be wins, though. So, okay, Georgia Tech will be next. So, alright, for the Hokies, I have them going 23-5. I mean, that's not too bad. I think they're actually a legit contender, honestly. I think they can hang with some teams. They don't have the hardest schedule in the world. They do have to play the Dukes and North Carolinas and Virginias of the world. I have been going 23-5. I think a 3 seed is pretty reasonable for them. I like this Tech team. Georgia Tech, not really a basketball powerhouse, so we'll go through them really fast. Tennessee's a loss. The other 2 are wins. So Tennessee's a loss. Those are the 2 are wins. I think Northwestern is a loss, but those other two are going to end up being wins. I think those are 3 wins right there. I think that those are 3 wins right there. I think Virginia Tech will be a loss, but the other 2 will be wins. Syracuse and Clemson, I think, will both be losses. And Louisville, I think, will be a loss. I think they lose all 3 of those. I think they could lose all 3 of those, too. I mean, Duke, North Carolina, and Notre Dame all in a row. I think Clemson and Florida State will also be losses there. And I think Notre Dame will be a loss, too. Tech's not looking too good. I think that Virginia Tech and Florida State will also be losses. I think they could beat Pitt. So that's a win. Miami is a win. I think they rebound there, but Virginia is a loss, and I think Boston College is a win. And then NC State, I think that's a loss. So I have Georgia Tech only going 15-16. Very repugnant. I don't see, with a losing record, I don't see it happening for the Yellow Jackets. I'm sorry. I'm not a huge fan of this Tech team. I don't really know who they have. They've never really been known for basketball, so I don't think Tech is a favorite here. Miami. Let's see what they have to offer. I think those are 3 wins right there. Those are 3 cupcake opponents. I think you could say the same for those next 3. I don't see any of those being losses, and I think you could say it's the same for these next 3. I mean, these are not looking like very good games. A lot of teams open up with a bunch of cupcakes. I think Louisville on the road is a loss, but those other 2 are wins. Florida State's a loss, and North Carolina at home's a loss. Wake Forest, I do think, will be a win, however. On the road at Syracuse is a loss. Florida State at home's also a loss, and I think Virginia Tech will also be a loss. That's a tough stretch there. I think they could lose. Virginia and North Carolina are all losses, and I think Notre Dame could be a loss. That Notre Dame is a wild card in this situation. I don't really know. Clemson, I think they could beat Clemson at home. Boston College is a win, and I think Georgia Tech will be a win. Duke on the road's a loss. Pittsburgh at home's a win. Virginia Tech on the road's a loss. Alright, that's it. So Notre Dame will be next. So 10, 50, I have them going 16-16, an even spread there. It'll be really tough for them to make the tournament there. I don't see Miami making the tournament this year. Their season ended to Loyola Chicago, so I don't know. I'm going to say those are losses there. So 16-16, and I say no tournament. Notre Dame, now, this is a wild card. They're either really good at basketball or they're not. I mean, Bonzie Colson, I don't know how he's doing. I don't even know if he's still on the team. But, I mean, I know they lost to Ball State last year, and this is a very interesting team. So, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens with them. Let's just get into it. Those are 3 wins right there. Cupcake teams. 3 more cupcake teams that I could see being wins. So, 6-0 here. Illinois will be a win. Oklahoma, I think, is a loss. UCLA is also a loss, in my opinion. Purdue is also a loss. Birmingham and Jacksonville are both wins. Coppin State is a win, but I think Virginia Tech and Syracuse are both losses. They're 10-5 so far. Boston College at home is a win. UNC and NC State, however, I think are both losses there. Georgia Tech is a win. Virginia and Duke are both losses. Those are really tough teams. Boston College is a win. Miami is a loss. And Georgia Tech is a win. I can see them winning that game. Virginia's a loss. Wake Forest is a win. And Virginia Tech is a loss. Florida State is a loss. Same with Louisville and Clemson. I can see them losing all 3 of those games. So, and then Pittsburgh last game, I think that'll be a win. So 16-15 for Notre Dame. I don't see them really doing that good this season. I think they might miss the tournament. These are some of the bottom teams in the ACC. I don't see them doing that well. Who's next? The Wolftards, NC State. Now, this is a wild card team. They're either really good or they're really bad. I know they've had some years they've upset UNC, and I think this is a real wild card. Let's see what I think of them. As always, 3 cupcakes. We will start it off with 3 wins there. 3 more wins with some more cupcake teams: Mercer, Maine, and St. Peter's. Wisconsin is a loss. Wisconsin usually is a pretty good program. And Vanderbilt's a loss. Vanderbilt has like 2 top 20 recruits. I don't know. We'll have to see about them. WCU's a win, however. WCU, we already did that. Wait, so Penn State is a win. Auburn is a loss. NC State is a pretty good out-of-conference schedule, I'm noticing here. Those are 3 more wins right there. Even with Miami, I think they could beat Miami. UNC at home is a loss, although at home they may hold it close. Pittsburgh and Wake are both wins, though. Notre Dame is a win. Louisville on the road is a loss. Clemson at home, I think, could be a win, though. I think they could get that game. And Virginia at home. Okay, Virginia might lose this game because Virginia has this thing where they overlook opponents. And NC State's a team I think they can easily overlook. So I'm taking NC State here. It's going to be, I think, one of the upset games of the year. Virginia Tech at home, I think, will be a win, too. I mean, UNC, I'm taking a loss there, but I think they can really be competitive in those games. Pittsburgh's a win. Syracuse is a loss, I think, and Duke's also a loss. Boston College, Wake, and Florida State, I think all those can be wins, truly. And then Georgia Tech is a win, and Boston College, I think, is a win. I have NC State going 24-8. I think they're a really good wildcard team that could maybe upset some people at home. I'm taking the Wolfpack to go 24-8, and I think they could be up there with this conversation. I think they'll be a 5 or 6 seed, but a very good 5 or 6 seed that could maybe make a run of the tournament. I'm high on NC State. All right, looks like Clemson is next. CLE. All right, let's keep going. As always, 3 cupcakes to start, 3 wins. Looks like that's 3 more wins there against those teams. Mississippi State, I think, will be a win. Same with Radford and Charleston Southern. South Carolina is a win. Lipscomb is a win. Duke is a loss. Duke, okay, I did Duke twice, I'm sorry. Syracuse is a loss and Virginia is a loss. Georgia Tech is a win. Florida State is a loss, in my opinion, and I think NC State will also be a loss. Did NC State twice again, I'm sorry. Pittsburgh is a win. Wake Forest is a win. Georgia Tech is a win. Virginia Tech is a loss, and I think Miami is a win, in my opinion. Louisville is a win, a reluctant win, though, on the road. Florida State at home is a win, and I think Boston College at home is a win. Pittsburgh's a win. NC State is a loss. Notre Dame is a win. And last game, I'm taking that as a loss against Syracuse. So I have Clemson going 21-9. I think they could be maybe a 5 seed in this tournament like they were last year. This Clemson team's pretty good. I don't really know what to think of them because I haven't seen much on them, but I know they're ranked, and we'll see how they do. I have them going 21-9 this season. Florida State. Now, this is an interesting team. They upset Xavier last year. We don't really know what to think of them. Ranked 17. I'm not really sure how they will do, but this is a very interesting team. I think they could maybe influence some teams, but I'm not really high on them. I mean, I'm not really sure. Let's get into it. We'll start it off. I think they could beat Florida. That's not necessarily a cupcake, but Tulane and Kansas, whatever that is. Whoops. Those are wins. UAB, Purdue, and Troy, I think, could be wins too. Same with those 3 games. Same with Virginia's a loss, but those other two are wins. Miami and Pittsburgh are wins. Duke is a loss. Boston College is a win. Same with Clemson and Miami. Georgia Tech is a win. Syracuse is a loss, and I think Louisville is a win. Wake Forest and Georgia Tech are wins. Clemson is a loss. UNC is a loss. Notre Dame is a win. NC State is a win. And those last two, I think, can both be wins. I think they can beat Tech at home. And yeah, I have FSU going 25-5. I don't know. I have them. This is an interesting team, this FSU team. I realize this video is getting very long. I apologize, but I'll probably put the timestamps of when I get to each team. Those are in the pinned comment. So if you want to look for a specific team that's in the pinned comment, I'll probably do that now. Okay, so 25-5. I mean, I don't know. This is really wild card. This team. Boston College. Now, I think each conference has their whipping boy. Boston College might be the whipping boy this year. I mean, let's just see. Hey, they got the 3 cupcakes like every other team, and it looks like 3 more cupcakes. Minnesota's not really a cupcake, but I think they can win that game. 3 more wins right there. Starting off 9-0 for Boston College. 3 more wins right there. I mean, we're 12-0 right now. I think Hartford's a win, but those other 2, Virginia and Virginia Tech, are losses. Notre Dame's a loss. Louisville's a loss. Florida State's a loss. Wake Forest is a win. Syracuse and Notre Dame are losses. Duke, Syracuse, and Pittsburgh, I think all 3 of those may be losses. Miami's a loss. NC State's a loss. And Clemson's a loss. Louisville's a loss. Georgia Tech will be a win. I think they can get that one. UNC's definitely a loss. And NC State to round this one off is a loss. I have them going in even 15-15, I think. I don't think Boston College will make the tournament. Pitt might be another one of the whipping boys in the conference. I think they finished last year, but let's see. 3 cupcakes, like every team. Then we got 3 more cupcakes. North Alabama doesn't even have a logo. Iowa is a loss. We don't really know about Iowa, but I think those other 2 will be wins. West Virginia's a loss. Mideastern and New Orleans are both wins. 10-1's 10-2. Colgate's a win, but UNC and Louisville are both losses. NC State is a loss. Same with Florida State and Syracuse. Duke is a loss. Louisville's a loss. Anyway, Duke's a loss, Louisville's a loss, and Clemson's a loss. Only 11-10 right now. Syracuse is a loss. Wake Forest, I think, could be a win. NC State is a loss. Keeping it going, Boston College is a win, or loss. I'm taking loss there. Virginia Tech is a loss, and Georgia Tech, I think that can be a win. Clemson is a loss. Virginia and Miami, I think, can also be losses. And Notre Dame, I think, will also be a loss to round out the season. 13-18 for Pitt. Not really good. I know they were last in the conference last year. Might be a repeated year. I don't really know. Another whipping boy, Wake Forest. We're just getting the weaker teams out. Duke, North Carolina, and Syracuse I saved for the last 3. Those will be coming up soon. But let's get into it. 3 cupcakes as usual. 3 wins. 3 more wins. Tennessee is a loss, but I think Gardner Webb and Davidson are wins. Cornell's a win, but Georgia Tech and Duke are both losses. I think those are 3 losses right there. Wake Forest, Miami, or NC State. You get the point. Virginia is a loss. Boston College is a loss. Louisville is a loss. Clemson's a loss. Notification. Wake Forest Pittsburgh is a loss, and Florida State's a loss. UNC's a loss, Notre Dame's a loss, and NC State's a loss. Miami's a loss, Syracuse is a loss, and Duke is a loss. Oh God, and I think Florida State will be a loss. Eesh, 9-19 for Wake Forest. Like I said, each conference has their whipping boy. Wake Forest will most likely be the team that this year not really looking too good for the Demon Deacons, but maybe they'll surprise some people. Okay, so 3 more. We have Syracuse, then North Carolina, then we'll end it with Duke. I saved the 2 best for last, and I'll save Syracuse is really good also near the end. So let's get into it. 3 cupcakes. Eastern Washington, Morehead State, and UConn. Colgate, Ohio State, and Cornell. Also 3 wins there. Those are also 3 wins. We'll take 3 more wins there. 12-0 so far. Notre Dame will be a win. Clemson and Georgia Tech will be wins. 15-0 for the Cuse. I think they get their first loss on the road at Duke, but I think Miami and Pittsburgh will also be wins. Virginia Tech, I think, can be a win. I think they can win that game on the road. Boston College and Pittsburgh also wins. We're 20-1 for Syracuse. Florida State, I think, is a win. Boston College is a win. And I think NC State can also be a win. Moving on, Louisville's a win. Duke is a loss. I think Duke will beat them there. And I think at Chapel Hill, I think they lose to UNC right there. But I think they could beat Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a win, and I think Virginia will end up beating them. But maybe Syracuse has a chance there. I think Clemson is a win. All right, UNC's next. So for Syracuse, I have them going 26-4. They're a legitimate contender in my eyes. I think. Don't underestimate Jim Boeheim and what he can do. I think Syracuse will be a 3 seed. I'm telling you, they have a legitimate shot. More notifications. Jimmy, I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay, Jimmy. So okay, so now is the 2 we've been waiting for. UNC. Shout out to Uncle Luke, big UNC fan. He's been sitting through all 27 minutes so far, waiting for UNC. Buddy, here you go. We'll start off with Wofford, Elon, and Stanford. Those are 3 wins right there. Tennessee Tech, St. Francis, and Texas. Those are also 3 more wins. Michigan on the road is a win, a reluctant win. UNCW is a win, but Gonzaga, I'm taking a loss here, I think. I think Gonzaga comes in with a newfound energy. Even at Chapel Hill, I'm taking Gonzaga on that one. That'll be a good game. Let me see, December 15th, mark your calendars. Kentucky is a win. I think they win that one at home. Davidson and Harvard are also wins. Pittsburgh, NC State, and Louisville, 3 more wins right there. Notre Dame, Miami, Virginia Tech, 3 more wins right there. Georgia Tech, Louisville, NC State, 3 more wins right there. Miami's a win. Virginia at home is a win. And Wake Forest is a win. Only lost so far to Gonzaga. At Duke, I see a loss. I think on the road they lose that one, but I think they win versus Florida State and Syracuse, both of those at home. Clemson on the road is a win. Boston College is a win. Duke at home. At home, I'm taking that as a win. It looks like that's it. Duke. We're ending it with Duke. I'm saying 30, or no, not 30. I have them going, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 20. Okay, 28-2. I see there are only 2 losses coming. Gonzaga at home and Duke on the road. Those are the 2 games I see losing. They'll probably end up losing another one in there to maybe Syracuse or Virginia. We'll see. I don't know. 28-2. I think a 1 seed or 2 seed's definitely it. Now the team with the number 1 recruit in the nation, the number 2 recruit in the nation, and then Zion Williamson. Duke, by far the favorites in my eyes. to win the NCAA tournament. But, hey, we'll see. Let's get into it. Kentucky, they start off the season with them. I'm taking that as a win for them. I'm going to be doing a preview for that game. That'll be a very good game. I'm taking that as a win for Duke right there. And also with Army and Eastern Michigan. Those are 3 more wins, Indiana, Stenson, and San Diego State. Keeping it going. Those are 3 more wins. Keeping it going. Texas Tech, those are 3 more wins. 12-0 so far. Those, I think, these are 3 tough games. Florida State is a win. Syracuse at home is a win. And I think at home, Virginia is a win. That'll be a good game. Let's see, what is it? The February 19th. Mark your calendars, guys. That's or not January. I don't know. That would be an amazing game. I think those are 3 more wins right there against those 3 ACC teams. I think St. John's and Boston College are wins. At Virginia. That's tough. That is tough. I'm going to take a win there. I think you can't deny the guys that Duke have 21-0 right now. At Louisville's a win. And NC State at home's a win. And I already said UNC at home is also a win. Syracuse on the road. I'm taking an upset here. I'm saying that's a loss. I have them winning 24 straight until that game. I think Syracuse, at home, their fans come out to play. I think they get a win there. Virginia Tech and Miami will both be wins, though. And then to round it out, Wake Forest is a win. But I think UNC is a loss. We already said that. I think UNC wins this one at home. I have Duke finishing the season 27-2. It probably could have been 28-1, but I picked Syracuse as an upset there. But these are, look at this effort with this, with these screenshots I had to do. I do this for all of these. But I think it'll be Duke versus. My ACC championship prediction is Duke versus North Carolina. It's going to be good. That rivalry is going to be fun. The ACC is going to be fun. But I think to recap all of these teams, Duke 27-2, UNC 28-2, Syracuse 26-4, Wake Forest 9-19, Pittsburgh 13-18, Boston College 15-15, Florida State 25-5. Miami 16-16, Notre Dame 16-15, NC State 24-8, Clemson 21-9. Back to the first page here. Louisville 19-11, Virginia 29-3, Virginia Tech 23-5, Georgia Tech 15-16. That'll end this 33-minute video. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your predictions in the comments. Thanks for keeping up with this mammoth of a video. I'll see you guys next time.